You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 205. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnhart, a creature made up of the vital force of thousands of long dead beings.
Wow.
Yeah.
As opposed to recently dead beings.
Right.
Okay, we got to make
that makes
that.
it a lot worse.
Yeah, the smell. Comic Reflections is brought to you by the Outhousers. You can find our show, plus articles about comic booky things and news and stuff at theouthousers.com. And if you enjoy our show, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher.
Okay.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk some more about Conan the Barbarian. Yay!
It's kind of rough.
What?
Seems like a nice guy to me.
Yeah, you know. and also some Jack Kirby monsters a little later.
Yeah.
But so the first issue we're going to talk about is Conan the Barbarian number 71, which is the February of 1977 issue. And the story is called The Secret of Ashtoreth, written by Roy Thomas, penciled by John Buscema, and inked by Ernie Chan.
Mm-hmm. Buscema always does a good job.
Oh, he's great.
All right. We find... How many times has Conan been in prison?
A lot.
Yeah.
He turned 21 in prison doing life without parole.
What's that?
That is Mama Tried by Merle Haggard.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yes, it
good old
is.
Merle.
Yeah. Who I've seen live in concert.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I saw him with Chris Christopherson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was cool.
Are they both drinking heavily?
No.
Okay. All right. Conan is in his pirate phase.
Yes, and he is with Baylit, the pirate queen.
Yeah. Who is easy on the eyes. Okay.
I never noticed. No.
Yeah, okay.
I'm kidding.
All right. Some fat priest has got them captured. He drugged their drinks. Well, oh, man. The Conan and the pirate queen beat up these pirates taking over the city of Ashtoreth.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And the high priest, this fat a-hole, he poisons their drinks so that it knocks them out and puts them in prison. And it's just kind of, man.
It's pretty underhanded.
Yeah, it is.
But these are the kind of, like, shisty moves that you see a lot, you know, with Conan's villains.
Yeah.
You know, people pretending to be nice and, oh, double cross, moo-ha, you know.
I don't know. Mark Twain said the difference between a man and a dog, if you treat a dog, treat a dog well, he won't bite you. And if you treat a man well, meaning that a man will treat you badly if you help him out.
Interesting.
I messed up the quote, but that's how it...
Yeah, I was just like, I'm so confused as to what the message you're trying to get across.
Mm-hmm.
But okay.
But a dog will show gratitude, a man will not. So.
Okay.
All right, so they figure they're in this cavern or dungeon, and they happily find a loose stone, and then they get out a lickety split. So they go out, and then there is this one guy. Who is this guy who runs away?
Oh, is he a deserter from...
Kawaku.
He's a deserter from Baylit's crew.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Baylit and Conan, well, they left all their gold in the city, so everyone else is going to go to their ship.
Mm-hmm.
Conan and the Queen is going to go into the city and take back their gold. Also, there's this blonde chick who was captured by the priest who's going to be killed tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Conan wants to save her. The Queen doesn't because she's jealous.
Baylit doesn't.
Yeah. So
she's not like a queen of a thing. She's just...
She's a pirate queen.
Yeah.
So. All right.
But Conan stops and makes out with her and says, look, I just can't let somebody die.
Right. She still doesn't like it, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole city is filled with ugly guys and pretty women, and Conan wonders why, and Baylit, I think, says that the women are all slaves captured from other places.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah. And it's typical of the ancient world.
Mm-hmm.
Even the, made-up one of Conan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Conan finds out that the girl was already. And this happened a couple of weeks ago too.
Did it?
Someone's supposed to be executed at a certain time, but then they do it quickly, so Conan cannot save them.
Yeah.
And that really ticks off Conan. That's one of his least favorite things. So,
Yeah.
so the poor girl is.
Yeah, worse than wizards.
Yeah. Yeah. Conan, man, he looks really mad. That's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
And John Buscema is absolutely the greatest as far as drawing Conan.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so.
He's not bad on Thor or. I'm trying to think of it. He did Fantastic Four too, but Thor and Conan, those are like the Buscema books.
Okay. All right, so the city worships the god Ashtoreth. So they're looking for their gold, and they find this girl who is actually Ashtoreth. She was from not Atlantis, but a city kind of like Atlantis that was destroyed at the same time.
Yeah.
The sea god gave her immortality, but nothing else.
Right.
It's kind of close. But it's kind of a nice little story. She's sitting around, and her girlhood friends are old crones, and she's still young.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of nice. She sees her city destroyed.
Yeah.
She gets captured by these goofballs.
Yeah. And she's like totally innocent and sweet. She's done nothing wrong, and she's had to suffer through all this time.
Mm-hmm.
She's been a captive. She's been tortured.
Mm-hmm.
Awful things. So.
Yeah. All right. So they try to. She has to get out to call her the god. So there's some kind of spell that prevents her from calling the god. So they escape, and Conan kills a bunch of dudes. That's pretty cool. So nice fighting. The fat priest is killed by Balit, and with a spear.
Yay!
Well done. She has this thing that's, let me quote you. She knows no other way of saying she was wrong. So, was she wrong to kill him? Or was she wrong with the girl?
Wrong to not want to go and save the girl is what she was talking about.
Okay. Alright, so. Alright, the girl, Ashtoreth,
Mm-hmm.
she calls the sea god. They escape. They meet Kawaku, who's doing nefarious things.
Yep.
The pirates they beat up before this issue comes back.
Yeah.
And then everybody has to leave because the city's destroyed. I'm not sure what's up with why the pirates came back. What did that do? So
I don't know. It probably has something to do with it's a subplot that has was probably made more sense if we'd read the previous issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's really the story stands alone pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But Conan and Balit escape, and yay.
They get to their boat, and so the girl Ashtoreth, I guess, dies, and and Conan says, "Well, she's probably carried off by the god." And Balit says, "I'd like to see anybody carry me up," but Conan carries her off, and she seems to like it. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good episode. Good issue.
Yeah. So the next issue we've got to talk about is Conan the Barbarian number 105. It's the December of 1979 issue, and the story is called Whispering Shadows, written by Roy Thomas, penciled by John Buscema, and inked by Ernie Chan.
Okay. Conan is the chief of an African tribe. I'd like to see Conan's full resume. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What hasn't he done?
A lot of stuff. And I think there's a flashback talking about some things like he fought. He took over this tribe after he defeated like a vampire that was like enslaving them. And I have read that story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So some bad things happen to the tribe, so they kick him out. So Conan escapes, and he goes into
The jungle?
not the jungle, Serengeti, the plains.
I guess.
That's where the lions are. The lions are not in the jungle.
Right, but this also isn't necessarily... It doesn't have to match
the
up...
savannah, that's what it's called.
Okay, but it doesn't have to match up with Earth the way we think of it.
Yeah.
This is a fantasy world.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's chased by lions in his loincloth. How he got into his loincloth, I'll never know.
Oh my gosh.
But it's pretty cool. Conan does a lot of running. This is the second time he runs.
And it's interesting because you don't see Conan with a bow a lot, and he's using one in this story.
Right. Well, that's the way I don't want to fight a lion. I wouldn't want to get up close and personal with.
I'd rather use a bow than a sword.
All right, so he crosses this line in the savannah, and the lions stop chasing him. So, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And he walks in there, this really crazy castle. It looks like it's built by a crazy man. Nothing fits, and everything's out of whack.
Yeah.
And he goes in there, he has awful dreams, and then the Stygians, slavers, come up. Conan hides, so they don't see him.
Yeah.
So they hang around, and all of a sudden this creature comes, and
it's a full-page splash, and it's this incredible monster, just like out of your worst nightmare.
Yeah, I see 5 legs, 10 heads, and about a dozen tentacles.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and it looks like something out of H.P. Lovecraft.
Very Lovecraftian.
Which is very fitting because Lovecraft and Robert E. Howard were pen pals. They corresponded for years with each other. They never met in real life, but they were like close, like pen pals.
Yeah,
because they were both appearing in like weird tales or whatever. A lot of their stuff is being told. So
wow. And here's a drawing of someone eating, one of the heads eating
a person,
and it's, I don't know, it's just really gross and cool at the same time. Someone slices off a tentacle, and the tentacle grows back, so there's nothing to do. So Conan says, I'm running away.
Which is a good plan.
Yeah. Runs away like a coward. Or one of the 3 Stooges, I'm not sure. That's cool. Pretty nice little story. It's just interesting. He runs away 3 times in this.
And look, sometimes, there's... Do you stay and die and be like, because I'm so macho? Or you're like, okay, I can't do anything about this. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, discretion is sometimes a better part of valor. He did the right thing.
Right.
This is time to go. But I just don't remember seeing it before, him running.
Yeah, you have a point. But, I mean, it's not like Conan is a hairy flashman.
Right.
It's...
running away at everything. So.
Yeah, I mean, Flashman fights when he's cornered.
Right.
And he fights well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, given a choice, I'd rather not fight. So the last Conan issue we're going to talk about this episode, we've got another book after that, so, it's cool. This is Conan the Barbarian number 215, which is the February of 1989 issue. And the story is called Death Pit.
Death Pit, that's the name of my first apartment. Wouldn't it be funny if it was true?
Oh my gosh.
You could have. So.
Yeah. So this story was written by Charles Santino and penciled by Val Semix and inked by Alfredo Alcala.
Okay. Conan's being chased by somebody. Wow, that's a big surprise.
Wow.
Yeah. What is it? The Turanians.
Right.
Turanians live in the desert, and they capture this oasis, and they're taking Conan back to it. And it's this huge fight. Conan's against...
He's fighting like a dozen guys.
Yeah, and there's more coming up, and there's a trail of beat up and knocked out guys, or maybe dead.
Yeah.
But he fights all the way to the Oasis. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, what the Turanians have done, they have this pit where all the slaves go down and bring up the water with this huge machinery with
And it's an engineering marvel.
Yeah. It's actually pretty cool looking.
Yeah. So I think the Turanians, and I'm using air quotes, are kind of like meant to be the pre-Crusades Arabs.
Yeah, and Saracens or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay, so they send Conan down there, and Conan's still fighting and still fighting. Then he jumps off into the water with all of his captors.
Yeah.
And they all drown, but Conan lives on.
Yeah.
And
so
this is the whole plot is. He gets captured, and then he fights his way out. And that's it. And it's really, really cool. So.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying. I mean, like, they want to enslave him to, help turn the gears or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just fighting guys the whole way through.
Yeah.
And it's very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he frees the prisoners.
Yeah.
And he throws a big old log into the gears, and it starts
destroying the thing.
Yeah, destroying the thing. I'm trying to think of a word. Self-destructing, but that's not it. But so he fights a bunch of guys and a bunch of destructions. Pretty cool. So
yeah,
not there's one whole page of no dialogue whatsoever, which is not that uncommon in Conan, I don't believe.
Not terribly. You'll notice that there's a lack of, Marvel comics typically have a lot of sound effects, designating impact or things being destroyed. If you look at Conan's, they're very sparse or non-existent, and that was on the insistence of Roy Thomas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it works pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we need...
I think he just wanted it to, have a distinction between this and the typical Marvel comic fare.
Yeah. Plus the fact, how are you going to do slicing someone's head off and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And it might make it difficult. That's cool. I love this panel. They're on top of a waterfall, him and the captain of Turanians.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really, really cool.
Yeah, no, this is just a really fun issue. Conan is always, I can always just pick up an issue, any issue of Conan, and just go and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What a great fantasy world that he lives in. And yeah.
It's pretty cool. So the Oasis machinery is destroyed. A huge geyser comes up. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Conan escapes. Yay! So, I don't know if any of the slaves do, though. He looks like he's only...
I'm not sure about that. He freed them, so I don't know. I think maybe they got away.
I don't know, but that's kind of cool. So.
Yeah. So the next comic we're going to talk about is Creatures on the Loose, number 13, which is the September of 1971 issue. And the lead story is called I Was Captured by the Creature from Krogar, written by Stan Lee and Larry Lieber, with art by, penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Dick Ayers. And this is a reprint from Tales to Astonish, number 25, from back in November of 1961.
Okay. We have this guy who likes to goof off and doesn't do his chores, doesn't pay his bills. He's married to a wife who's really worried about everything, and she's ticked off. But he'd rather sit and watch TV, and I would too. Yeah, that's really hit home here.
But he's got this lovely redheaded wife. I'd have a few more ideas than coming home and watching TV, but
Right. All right, so it's interesting. 1961. I don't think there's that many color TVs.
No.
He could have mentioned that he was watching black and white, and a monster appears, and a monster's in color, of course.
Right.
Because it looks like he's looking at black and white. They should have.
Yeah, I don't know when color television came
early
around.
60s, I think it started.
I'm gonna interweb it. Keep talking.
Okay. All right, so he's watching TV, and this monster looks at him, says, "Hey, release me. I'm going to help you out and reward you." So, okay. So he lets the guy out, and he's a typical
The monster gives him instructions to adjust the set so that he can come through the world.
Right. And it's a very Kirby-esque monster.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I should hope so. It's drawn by Kirby.
Yeah. Yeah, but well, when you think of Kirby-esque, you have an idea, and that's what it is. So, all right, so the monster, being a monster, betrays him by saying, "Haha, I lied, so now you got to come and be my slave in my country." So they go back to his planet, which is kind of a simple planet with gladiators and swords and huge cannons, and guys on riding birds and such. And
are they on He-Man's planet? You know, I mean, they got swords and stuff. Oh, Eternia, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the bad guy has called his buddy. He said, "Hey, look at this," and you're going to show them that his invention worked. But while the guys are coming here, our hero starts disappearing, and disappears in the thin air. The monster is really ticked off, and his friends come over and says, "You lied to us," so they kill him. Our hero wakes up and figures out that they cut off the electricity because he hadn't paid the bill.
And so that allowed him to go back, and it cut off the transmission, and it allowed Krogar to be defeated, which is great.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody pulled a Homer.
Right.
So to answer our question, color television was introduced in 1953, but it was uncommon in people's homes and in broadcasts themselves until 1965.
Right.
So it was a thing that existed. I mean, but when he was watching television before Krogar showed up, it was a black and white show.
It looked like that way. So.
Yeah. So anyway, our backup story, our second of 3 stories in this issue, is called Midnight on Haunted Hill. And this is a reprint from Tales to Astonish number 28 from February of 1962. And it was written by Stan Lee and Larry Lieber, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Dick Ayers.
I love the first panel here.
Yeah.
They're climbing a mountain and it's silhouetted. That's
because it looks like lightning is crashing behind them, or space rays or something. I can dig it.
All right. This boy lost his dog. He goes up this mountain, and he sees a spaceship. And they're leaving a spaceship. They're leaving a spaceman because he committed a crime, so he's got to stay on Earth for a year.
Oh man!
But he doesn't see who. He doesn't see the creature.
Right.
So he goes back and tells everybody, and everybody laughs at him. And but they go up and they check it out anyway, which is kind of cool. Although I would probably scoff at someone saying this as well.
Sure.
But they had a plan. Hey, this will make some money for us. So they hype it up in the paper and all that stuff, and people come by and they sell hot dogs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
it's kind of fine. It kind of brings a lot of tourism to the town. That's nice.
A year goes by, and the editor of the paper says, "Hey, almost a year's gone by, so that means the spaceship is supposed to come back for the alien.
Yeah.
So why don't we go up there and look at it?" And
so a whole hullabaloo of people show up to check it out, and the spaceship does come back, and they take back that gnarled tree that was chilling at the top of the hill. Nobody suspected the tree was the alien.
No, I wouldn't have either. You know, the world is full with so many laughers and so few believers.
Yeah.
Okay. True words are never spoken.
Yes, I mean, like, there are other things that are true, but, you know.
I mean, it's not a bad little story.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, hey, it's Kirby. Yay!
Yeah.
So we have the final feature is a real treat. The first 2 stories are reprints, and this is then new, okay? And this story is called Where Walks the Werewolf, which, what an annoying title, you know, like, werewolf, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But anyway, this was written by Len Wein, with art by Reed Crandall, who, of course, is an alumnus of EC Comics, and also of the great, Warren horror magazines, Creepy and Eerie.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say this is probably some of his last work in comics.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No. Go ahead and tell the story. I got another little tidbit about him.
Oh, okay. All right, we see this couple of guys. One guy is blind with a dog, and the other guy is Craig, who's a scientist. So they're out looking for a wolf because if they take the wolf's serum from his spinal cord, they can give the guy's sight back. And the guy is a artist, so without his sight, he feels his life is worthless.
Yeah. Oh, also in the 40s, Reed Crandall worked on Black Hawk, which was created by Will Eisner.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to have an episode about Black Hawk, Silver Age Black Hawk.
I didn't know it was done by Will Eisner.
Originally, yeah.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a girl involved, and let's see. She likes Craig, and Martin is the artist,
Mm-hmm.
and she used to like Martin, but not anymore. So they do the operation, and it seems to go okay. He gets his sight back, and then turns into a werewolf. His dog don't like him anymore, and he kills his dog. That's sad. And he goes around killing a bunch of people, and he gets mad at Craig for screwing up this and also getting his girl. And Martin jumps at him, and Craig jumps down, and Martin goes over the cliff like every other movie you've seen.
Yeah. Yeah. But the art is terrific. Reed Crandall was wonderful. Yeah. I'm a big fan of his.
Not bad.
He also did a great deal of work on Treasure Chest, the Catholic comics. It had Chuck White and his friends, and he did a lot of Classics Illustrated as well.
Oh. I like Classics Illustrated.
Yeah, and he did some work on the Thunder Agents as well. I forgot about that, and I love them. But Reed Crandall was an alcoholic, and
aren't we all?
Right. He left comics. He gave up art in 1974, and his health was bad. And he was a night watchman and a janitor at for the Pizza Hut General Quarters in Wichita, Kansas.
Wow.
And that was what he did until like the end of his life, when he died in 1982.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty lame end for a great artist who had really a stunning and spectacular career. And he had many great works and series that he contributed to.
Okay. All right. Well, until next time, we'll see you in the funny pages.
And be sure to rate and review us on iTunes.